So my story is titled Replay. Now, Replay is a mystery, it's a fantasy, and it's a teen drama. And it revolves around the thought of what if we could change one action of one day? What if the action, the decision that we made impacted our life so drastically that if we changed it, we could change our lives for the better? And this is a thought that Thomas, my character in Replay, has. Now, Thomas, up until his 18th birthday, was living this perfect life. He, came from a wealthy and loving family, had an expensive car daddy bought him, was dating the most beautiful girl at school, walked the halls like he was a god. And, everyone was envious of him. He drew all this attention to himself and he loved it. He loved the spotlight, and his biggest worry was his upcoming 18th birthday. Now, for planning his 18th birthday came a worry. All this attention that he loved also created issues for him. One in particular was a girl called Brooke. He and the most beautiful girl at school, Sophie, had been in a relationship for a while, but he loved the attention he got from other girls. And Brooke was one of these other girls. Feeling conflicted, like many protagonists we love to hate, he ends things with Brooke. And up until this point, it seems like he's been keeping his distance from her. But it's a situation that is just waiting to unravel. And Brooke seems so dead on focused on making him miserable and maybe even perhaps having their relationship exposed. Now, back home, his parents, they put up a happy front for him because it's his birthday and they want to plan this party, they want to go all out, but they have a little bit of their own issues. Back home, dad is facing some issues with his work. His business is gonna go under, or at least he fears it will, and it's creating some real tension between mom and dad. So, to put on a brave face, they plan the party as usual, go all out, all the whole nine. And they plan the party. This is where it kind of all goes down for him. At the party, he hopes Brooke will not show up because it's going to create some issues between him and Sophie. But she shows up. And at this party, which is one of the biggest parties of the year, a lot of his classmates show up, over 100 of his classmates show up. At this party, Brooke is trying to, stir the pot. And eventually, to the point that because she's so upset that Thomas has turned her away and tried to remain loyal to Sophie, that she just gets upset. She's like, yeah, I'm just gonna ruin this fun for you, and I'm just gonna tell Sophie the truth, and she does. And Sophie is obviously devastated in terms of, feelings, so disrespected, especially something so public that's discovered at his birthday party. She's humiliated. We flash forward to 6 months later, and he's kind of in ruins. Sophie is dating someone else. His parents have separated. They are living on opposite sides of the country. He's living in some one, room apartment somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and he's just on this verge of depression. He is thinking to himself, what could I do differently that day that would have saved, my perfect life? And that's ultimately what he's looking for. How can I restore my happy and perfect life that I had, which in reality wasn't really a perfect life? And so Thomas meets this man, and this man, while he's on a walk one night, he kind of befriends Thomas, and he gets to talking. Thomas vents about what he went through, and this man tells him, what would you change if you could go back? Thomas tells him, well, I would change this, I would change that. And this man says, look, I can help you. And at first Thomas is a bit resistant, but then he says, well, how? And this man says, look, I'm your guardian angel, and I can give you an opportunity that I think would help you. And Thomas is at first, he's kind of like, wow. And this is where he gets the second opportunity, because he says, I can give you a second opportunity at your 18th birthday. I'll give you 24 hours to right your wrongs. And in these 24 hours, you can get back Sophie. You can get your parents back on track. Now that you know what's going to happen in the future, maybe perhaps you can give your father a hint that will save his business. But it's at a cost. Thomas says, what's the cost? The man tells him, I want 1 year of your life. 1 year of your life in exchange to relive your 18th birthday. Thomas thinks about it. He says, I'll be an 80-year-old man. It's fine. Maybe I won't grow old to be 81. I'll just be 80. It doesn't matter in the long run. To have the life that I lost, it's worth it. So he shakes his hand and he says, I take the deal. And that's where he crosses the threshold. The man says, okay, this deal is everlasting. Thomas shakes his head, agrees, and he's transported back. When he wakes up, he's back at his parents' house. He's in his own room, in his own bed. His parents walk in and they're singing happy birthday. He's back on his 18th birthday, back to fix what he lost.